Welcome back to the deep dive. You know that feeling when a new layer 1 blockchain pops up? It promises like incredible speed, amazing scalability.
Mm.
And the kicker, it's got backing from some really big like legacy tech names, people you absolutely recognize.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It creates this immediate buzz, right? But almost instantly, you get that wave of, well, doubt, skepticism.
Exactly.
And for you, the listener, the core tension you brought us is really clear. Is this thing real? Is it actual, institutional grade innovation trying to connect traditional finance and DeFi?
Or is it just, a fancy front, some kind of sophisticated setup for a massive crypto drainer scam?
That's the heart of it. It's the make or break question. Are you getting in early on the future, or are you basically walking straight into a fishing net?
Right. So we've dug into the sources you sent over, and we're aiming to tackle 3 really crucial questions today. First up, is Keeta Network, the actual platform itself, a scam?
Yeah.
Or is it fundamentally legitimate?
Second, and this is vital for, long-term trust. Who are the founders? What's their background? Have they actually done this kind of high-speed crypto stuff before?
Yeah.
Do they have that deep expertise?
Or are they just relying on good marketing and big names?
Precisely. And third, the big one, the proof. Have they actually shown their tech works? Has Keeta demonstrated, under fire, that they can deliver the kind of scale they're talking about?
Or is it all just promises and speculation at this point? Vaporware backed by famous faces, that's the mission for this deep dive.
Yeah, and after going through all the material, it's fascinating. The key, it seems, is separating the project from everything else happening around it. You've really got 2 things going on simultaneously.
2 realities.
Exactly. 2 parallel realities. On one hand, you have what appears to be a legitimate Layer 1 blockchain, Keeta Network, and it has this really ambitious goal, bridging TradFi and DeFi.
Okay, the legitimate project.
And then, ironically, its very success seems to fuel the other reality, which is this huge, really dangerous network of sophisticated phishing scams, crypto drainers. And they're specifically designed to exploit Keeta's name, its brand, its growing reputation, basically to steal people's crypto.
Wow. So understanding that split, legitimate, core, toxic environment is key.
It's absolutely the main takeaway for you. So let's start by digging into the evidence for the legitimacy of the core network first.
All right, so when you're assessing any new L1, you start with the basics, right? Does it actually exist? Can you access it through, reputable means?
Exactly. First principles.
And based on the sources we looked at, we can say right off the bat, Keeta Network is defined as a legitimate Layer 1 blockchain platform. It's trying to build some serious infrastructure.
And that goal, bridging TradFi and DeFi, that's huge. It's not just about being faster. It's about being fast enough and, maybe more importantly, compliant enough for traditional finance, for banks, institutions.
Right, that takes it beyond just launching another token.
Absolutely. It sets a much higher bar. And, the market seems to be taking it seriously, too. They have their own native token, KTA.
And it's not stuck on some obscure decentralized exchange.
No, not at all. The sources say it's already listed on 13 different exchanges.
13. Okay, that's significant.
It really is. And we're talking about places like Kraken and Bitmart. These aren't fly-by-night operations. They have, pretty rigorous checks.
Due diligence, audits, financials, legal stuff.
Exactly. They don't just list anything with a flashy website. So the fact that Keeta got through that process on 13 major exchanges, that says a lot about its viability, its compliance. It's a strong early signal.
Okay, so it's treated seriously. What about actually existing? Have they launched?
Yes, and that's another key point. They're past the coming soon hype stage. The sources state very clearly, the main app officially launched on September 22nd, 2025.
September 22nd, 2025. So it's live, it's operational, not just vaporware.
Correct. An operational mainnet is a massive milestone. And their main website, their official domain, keeta.com, that also offers some external validation.
How so?
Well, the sources mentioned Scam Advisor looked at it, gave it a reasonable trust score of 61.
61. Okay. Reasonable sounds. Okay, but not amazing. How should you interpret that?
Yeah, that's a fair question. You need context there. Look, in crypto, especially for a brand new L1 trying to disrupt things, getting a perfect 100 score right away is almost impossible. There's always scrutiny, often FUD.
Right.
So a reasonable 61 basically means it's not immediately flagged as a known scam site or a security risk. It shows it's a real, established domain that passes basic checks. That's actually what you want to see when you're trying to tell the difference between a real company and some fake phishing site that just popped up yesterday.
Okay, got it. So summarizing this part, Keeta Network looks like a real, functioning, ambitious project. It's trading on major exchanges. It's aiming for the big leagues, the institutional market.
That seems to cover the basic legitimacy question.
Right, so now let's look at the people behind it, the founders.
Okay, this directly tackles your second question. Who built this thing, and what's their track record? Especially for a layer 1, the team's ability to actually build and scale these complex systems.
Yeah.
Well, it's everything.
So who's in charge? The sources mention Tai Shank as the founder and CEO.
Correct. But maybe even more critical for the technical side, for the can they actually build it question, is the person leading the engineering.
The CTO.
Yes, Roy Keene. He leads the technical development. And the crucial detail, the piece of background that really stands out in the sources, is that Keene is identified as a former core developer of Nano.
Okay, pause there. Nano. For you listening, this is the direct answer to whether the founders have skin in the game if they've done similar high-performance crypto work before. So what does that Nano connection really tell us about Keeta?
It tells us he has a very specific, very relevant track record. Nano is famous, really, for two things in the crypto world. One, feeless transactions. And two, its unique architecture. It uses something called a block lattice, not a standard linear blockchain like Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Okay, can you unpack that block lattice thing quickly, just so you can connect the dots?
Sure. So in a typical blockchain, transactions get bundled into blocks, and the whole network has to agree on them one by one sequentially.
Right, which can cause bottlenecks.
Exactly. The block lattice, which Nano pioneered, works differently. Every single account has its own blockchain. Think of it like that.
Okay.
This lets transactions happen sort of independently, asynchronously, in parallel. That's what makes them almost instant and feeless. The workload is spread out, less constrained.
Ah, I see. So if Keene was a core developer on a project that was literally designed from scratch for speed and zero fees using this novel structure,
Then his expertise is perfectly suited for building a high-throughput layer 1 like Keeta. It directly addresses the exact same challenges.
so it's not just talk. His background suggests he genuinely knows how to tackle this specific problem.
It provides a really strong indicator, yeah. It answers that do they have the tech experience question with a pretty solid yes based on his history. But, technical skill isn't always enough on its own. You need validation. You need money.
And they got that too, a significant amount. Keeta raised $17 million in funding back in 2023.
$17 million. Yeah, and that timing, 2023, is important.
Why is that?
Because that was deep in the crypto winter, right? After the big collapses of 2022, investors were extremely cautious, risk-averse. For a project to pull in $17 million of institutional money during that climate.
It suggests they passed some serious scrutiny. The tech, the business plan, everything must have looked solid.
Extremely solid.
Yeah.
And the source of that funding adds another layer, perhaps the biggest layer.
Okay. Who led the round?
The lead investor, who also serves as an advisor, is the former CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt.
Eric Schmidt. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. He invested through his venture capital firm, Steel Perlow, and he's actively advising the project.
That's huge. I mean, Eric Schmidt isn't just some random wealthy investor. He's synonymous with scaling global tech, governance, navigating regulations.
Exactly. Think about Keeta's goal, bridging TradFi and DeFi. Having someone like Schmidt involved, that's strategically invaluable.
It gives them instant credibility with the exact institutions they're trying to attract.
It really does. When a bank or a big company looks at Keeta, seeing Schmidt's name attached addresses a whole raft of concerns about, stability, governance, real-world integration. It speaks directly to their core mission.
So the legitimacy picture gets even clearer. It's not just a skilled dev team. It's a team with proven scaling experience, funded during a downturn, and advised by one of the biggest names in global tech.
Right. This level of backing, this kind of high-profile involvement, it acts as a really powerful counter-argument to any sort of generalized, it's a scam noise. The project seems very well-vetted, well-funded, and well-advised.
Okay, so we've established the team looks legit. The funding is serious. Now, the third big question you had for us, have they actually proved the tech works? Is it real, or is it still just promises on paper?
Because, in crypto, you can have a great team, tons of money, and still fall flat if the tech doesn't actually scale like they say it will.
And Keeta actually faced a major, very public test on this exact point, a real crisis moment that forced their hand.
Oh, yeah. It all blew up in June 2025. This was the big FUD campaign, fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Right, let's break down that controversy, because this wasn't just random shouting online. It came from some respected voices.
Exactly. You had Zach XBT, who's pretty well known for investigating crypto scams, and also a community member called MRG. And they leveled some really damaging accusations. They basically said Keeta was running a fake testnet.
Oof, a fake test net. What did that actually entail? What were the
They
specifics?
claimed the block explorer, the tool everyone uses to see what's happening on the chain, was fake,
Hmm.
just showing simulated activity, not real transactions.
Yeah, that's bad.
Very bad.
Hmm.
They also said the swap function didn't actually work, suggesting core functionality was missing. And maybe the most damaging, narratively speaking, was the claim that the white paper itself was just generated by AI.
Implying there was no real original tech thinking behind it.
Exactly. For a new L1 being accused of faking your testnet, that's potentially fatal. It suggests the whole thing might just be vaporware.
So what happened to the token price? KTA must have tanked.
Oh, instantly. Brutally. Showed just how fragile market trust can be. The KTA price dropped something like 20 to 25% in just 24 hours.
Wow.
The FUD attack worked perfectly initially. Spooked the market, triggered sell-offs, purely based on that fear and uncertainty.
Okay, but if the project had Eric Schmidt and serious tech behind it, why didn't it just completely collapse? A 25% drop is bad, but maybe not fatal.
Because the market was waiting for the technical rebuttal. See, the big name backing gets you attention, but it's the engineering proof that keeps you afloat when things get rough.
So how did Keeta respond? Did they just issue denials?
No, they went much further. Instead of just talking, they acted. They decided to provide undeniable, public, concrete proof. They organized a live public stress test on June 12th, 2025.
A live stress test. Okay. And who oversaw it? Did they do it themselves?
No, and this is the critical part. To counter the all-fake narrative, they partnered with Google's engineering team to conduct and verify the test.
Google's engineers. Okay,
Yeah.
that brings in a level of, well, unimpeachable neutrality, right?
Exactly. By bringing in Google, a massive, centralized, globally respected tech company, they effectively silenced the critics who were saying the results were manipulated or faked internally. Google's presence lent massive credibility to whatever the outcome was.
So, the moment of truth. What did the test actually show? What was the number?
The test was a success, a huge success. It demonstrated processing capabilities exceeding 10 million transactions per second. The sources give a specific peak figure, 11.2 million TPS.
11.2 million transactions per second. Okay, let's just pause on that number for you, the listener.
It's a big number.
It's a massive number. For context, Visa, the global payment network, usually handles maybe around 2,000 transactions per second in the real world. Their theoretical limit is higher, but 2,000 is typical.
Right.
So if Keeta can publicly demonstrate 11.2 million TPS verified by Google, that puts them in the same speed league as the fastest chains out there, like Solana maybe, and way, way beyond Ethereum's current capacity.
It completely validates the tech claims. It validates Roy Keane's background with Nano. It proves the architecture, whatever it is, can actually achieve extreme scale. They didn't just talk about it. They showed it under pressure with a credible third party watching.
And that number, 11.2 million TPS, suddenly makes their goal of bridging TradFi and DeFi seem actually feasible, not just aspirational.
Precisely. You need that kind of throughput to handle institutional volume.
So how did the market react to this proof? Did the token recover?
Well, absolutely. Decisively. The demonstration returned confidence almost immediately. The KTA token bounced back sharply from that 25% FUD-induced crash. The sources say it surged back above $1.25.
So the recovery itself is proof the FUD failed once the facts were out.
Exactly. It shows that verifiable technical proof trumped the fear campaign.
Okay, so let's recap these sections. Is the team experienced? Yes, seems so. With that core nano dev background. Have they proven the tech? Yes, pretty convincingly, with that Google-verified 11.2 million TPS stress test.
So the core project itself looks solid, built on real experience, backed by serious money, and with demonstrated high performance.
Which leads us, ironically, straight into the danger zone.
Yeah, this is where we address the other side of the coin, and maybe the most immediate risk for you. While the Keeta project seems legitimate, the danger surrounding it is incredibly high.
Because all that success we just talked about, the funding, the big names, the tech validation.
It basically painted a giant target on Keeta's back.
That's the paradox of crypto, isn't it? Success breeds parasites.
It really does. And the sources are crystal clear on this. Keeta Network has been heavily targeted by crypto phishing scams. These aren't generic scams. They are specifically designed to impersonate the real Keeta platform.
And this isn't a small problem. We should probably underscore the scale here.
Definitely. The sources cite the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC. They estimate that since 2021, something like 46,000 people have lost over $1 billion just to these kinds of crypto scams.
$1 billion. Wow.
So the Keeta impersonation scams, they're part of a huge, well-organized criminal industry. These aren't kids in basements. It's sophisticated stuff.
Okay, let's get into the mechanics. How do these drainers actually work? Because understanding that is your best defense. They're not hacking Keeta's blockchain itself, right?
No, not the mainnet. They're targeting the user through social engineering and impersonation. It starts with creating fake websites.
Websites that look identical to the real Keeta.com.
Identical. Logos, colors, layout, branding, perfect clones. And their one single goal is to trick you, the user, into doing one seemingly simple thing, connecting your digital wallet to their fake site.
Okay, and that connect wallet button is the trap door.
Exactly. Because once you click that and approve the connection, the fake site will usually prompt you to sign something. Maybe it looks like you're claiming a reward or voting on a proposal.
But you're actually signing
A malicious smart contract. Without realizing it, you're giving that contract permission to access your funds.
And once you sign that permission slip,
It triggers an automated draining mechanism. The contract starts systematically pulling crypto out of your wallet and sending it to the scammer's address. The sources even say some drainers are programmed to grab the most valuable tokens first. They optimize the theft.
that's chilling. And the worst part, which we have to keep repeating, crypto transactions are irreversible.
And effectively untraceable. Once that drainer starts and the funds move, they're gone. Poof, there's no bank to call, no chargeback. Prevention is literally the only cure.
So what tricks are they using? What are the specific lures to get people to click connect wallet on these fake sites?
They play on psychology. FOMO, fear of missing out, is huge in crypto, especially with exciting new projects. So the scams exploit that.
What kind of promises are we talking about?
We see clear patterns in the sources. Things like promises of early KTA token rewards, maybe exclusive access to a supposed Gen 2 release of the platform.
Ah, playing on the tech excitement.
Exactly. Or free airdrops. Everyone loves free tokens. Or maybe fake voting opportunities that promise rewards for participating. And the key ingredient they almost always add:
Urgency.
urgency. Claim within 24 hours, limited spots available, access the beta now before it closes. That pressure tactic is designed to stop you from thinking, stop you from double-checking.
Just click now.
Just click now. It bypasses critical thinking.
Okay, the sources listed some specific examples of known scam domains. We should probably call these out directly so you can recognize them.
Yeah, absolutely. These aren't typos. They're deliberate fakes. Proposal-ketas.com. Notice the extra "es" and the generic word proposal. That was for a faked voting scam. Keeta-ai.com. This one promised access to a non-existent Gen 2 release, playing on the AI hype.
Using keywords like A and claim seems common.
Very common. Also, Keeta-claim.com and claim.keetnetwork.app. Classic fake airdrop sites. The word claim itself creates urgency.
And app-keeta.com.
Yeah, that one was flagged specifically by Scam Advisor with an extremely low trust score. Confirmed malicious clone.
So you really need to watch for those hyphens, the extra letters, the keywords tacked on.
Exactly. They rely on typo-squatting, knowing people glance quickly, especially on mobile. Those tiny variations are easy to miss if you're not looking carefully.
And where are these links being spread? How do they reach people?
Everywhere the community gathers, basically. It's an onslaught.
Like social media?
Definitely. Social media spam, but also direct messages, often from accounts that have been hacked so they look legitimate. Malvertising, too, those annoying pop-up ads that can redirect you without warning.
Okay.
Plus email phishing, SMS phishing, smishing, even fake browser notifications. And they'll drop links in forum comments, Discord chats, Telegram groups, anywhere they can inject them into a conversation. The goal is saturation. Make the fake links unavoidable.
All right, the danger is very real, very pervasive. But the defense is possible. It requires diligence. This last part is all about the actionable steps, the protections you need to implement based on what we've learned.
Yeah, think of this as your personal security layer. Because vigilance here isn't just recommended, it's essential.
Rule number 1, the absolute foundation.
Verify the domain. Always, always, always check that you are on the one single official website, Keeta.com. That's it. No hyphens, no extra words, no weird extensions. If the URL is anything else, assume it's malicious. Close the tab.
Simple but critical. Okay, rule number 2.
Never connect your wallet to an unverified site. Just don't do it. Even if the website looks perfect, even if the offer sounds amazing. If you haven't 100% verified that URL is Keeta.com, do not connect your wallet.
Because that connection is the permission slip for the drainer.
It's the keys to the kingdom. Once you grant that permission via a malicious contract signature, it's potentially game over.
Okay, let's hammer home the red flags again. What should you immediately be suspicious of?
Any domain variation. Keeta I, Keeta claim, Keeta's anything with a slight misspelling or added keyword. Also, be a bit wary, technically, of sites hosted on things like For Sale or similar quick deployer platforms. Scammers love those because they can spin up and tear down fake sites rapidly.
Good technical tip.
Uh-huh.
What about the psychological red flags?
Unsolicited offers arriving in your DMs or email. Promises of free money, exclusive access you didn't ask for. And that big one, urgency. If something screams ACT now or lose out, that's precisely when you need to stop, breathe, and verify manually.
Manually meaning don't click the link they sent you.
Never click the link they sent you. Open a fresh browser window, carefully type in keta.com yourself, and see if the offer actually exists on the official site. 99% of the time, it won't.
So how do you find out about real news, real airdrops, real updates?
Stick exclusively to the verified official channels. If Keeta announces something legitimate, it will be on their official website, Keeta.com, their official verified Twitter X account at Keeta Network, and their official Discord server. That's it. Ignore everything else.
Get your information directly from the source, verified sources only.
Exactly. Trust nothing else. No DMs, no random links in chat, no pop-ups.
Okay, so the core message here is extreme caution and meticulous verification of the URL.
That's the firewall. That moment of checking the address bar is the single most important thing you can do to protect yourself from these drainer scams. Hashtag outro.
So let's wrap this up. What we've unpacked in this deep dive is really two very different stories running in parallel.
Yeah, on one side, you have Keeta Network itself. What's like a legitimate, seriously funded Layer 1 project. They've got founders with relevant experience, specifically from Nano.
And they've got proof of tech, that impressive 11.2 million TPS figure, publicly demonstrated and verified by Google's engineers.
Right. They weathered a major FUD storm because they have the substance to back up their claims. That's the legitimate side.
But then there's the dark side. That very success, that visibility has made Keeta a prime target for criminals.
Highly sophisticated impersonation scams, wallet drainers, operating constantly in its shadow. So the immediate threat for you isn't really the project's core technology or its team.
It's the crime happening around it, the incredibly efficient, decentralized crime that preys on legitimate innovation.
Precisely. And that brings us to, I think, a really crucial lesson for anyone involved in crypto or blockchain. The biggest risk often isn't a flaw in the code of a good project. It's malicious actors exploiting human psychology, exploiting the complexity of the ecosystem.
So vigilance, that constant verification, critical thinking, that's your real security layer.
It's the ultimate layer 2, you could say. You have to build it yourself.
You know, this whole Keeta situation, especially the part about needing Google to verify their testnet, it does raise a fascinating point, doesn't it? About trust and transparency moving forward.
How so?
Well, if a project, even one with strong backing, has to call in a massive centralized tech giant like Google just to prove its basic functionality against a wave of disinformation, what does that really signal?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Does genuine legitimacy in this space, especially when you're under attack from coordinated FUD, now actually require some kind of validation or oversight from established centralized players? Is that the new standard for trust?
Or can the community, through its own investigations, audits, and counter-FUD efforts, still be enough? It's a real tension, isn't it? Centralized verification versus decentralized consensus reality.
A trade-off between trusting the code and needing a familiar, powerful entity to vouch for it.
Definitely something worth pondering for you, the listener, as you continue to navigate this very complex and rapidly changing landscape. What does trust really mean, and who gets to validate it?
Food for thought. Keep digging, keep verifying those URLs, and thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.